legacy? What is it? What defines it? And how is it changing throughout our years? Now that we have a league full of parity. So, for starters, my name is Zay. Good to meet y'all. I'm trying some new shit. We trying to talk hoops on a broader scale. I talk hoops with my friends and everything. I don't know. I'm just trying to see where shit go. But basically, the topic of today's video is I feel with everybody winning so many championships, one off, I'm not certain how many all-time greats are gonna be there in the next like generation. You know what I mean? Of course, we got the Euros. The Euros are great. Giannis, the beast. Nikola, best player in the league. But people are really not giving them the credit, and they'll kind of move the goalposts, whether it be, oh, they need to win more than one, oh, they did it because their team, da 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 da. But the thing is, they're just not trying to give the face of the NBA to a foreign-born player. It's clear. If I had a vote in it, Wemby, 100%. But with that being said, with how the media is portraying players today, and how not only media but how fans ourselves we play into the toxicity in a way. NBA tip Twitter, you know I'm talking to you. I don't even got a Twitter, but I'll be talking to you. Back in the 60s when Bill Russell and the Celtics, they won 11 out of 13, I believe. Something like that. That defined dominance as winning as a team because they could do it collectively for so long. Their defense was immaculate. Of course, there was no like tape I mean, there probably was like some tape, but there was no stats like blocks and everything all the way up to Will. Will was goaltending the shit out of everything. But Bill Russell was like a 19 and 11 guy, I think. Sorry, I haven't really looked at my segregation basketball recently, but it's around there. But for the longest time, he was considered the greatest player to ever do it because of what he did in his team. Then you have players like Kareem and Will. People have arguments. I remember as a kid, I had this one guy named Randy. I used to play basketball with all the time, and he would always say Kareem was the GOAT over Jordan, over everything. So even like there are probably old heads to say that too, but even there are some younger people that think his statistical dominance has a key jumping point for him to be the GOAT. A lot of people say Michael Jordan. Most people, I would say, 6 rings, no losses in the finals is crazy. We got LeBron, 4 and 6. A lot of people give him shit. To me, he's the greatest basketball player of all time. Yes, he's lost a lot, just and everything, but at the end of the day, the longevity, just to watch him as a fan of basketball has been amazing. You know what I mean? Like, to see him this long, like, for my whole life, basically, since I was, like, 5 years old, he's been playing, and he's killing it. Now, do I think he has the highest peak? It'd be close. That's where we can go back and forth, you know what I mean? But, coming up with LeBron and coming up with that kind of era of superstars and everything, we kind of got more sensationalized in the media, and we kind of just everything that has to be a hot take with the Stephen A's and the Skip Bayless's type shit, and that's why they're kind of dying out now because we're all kind of seen for the bullshit, and we got like Lowe, Gil, all these podcasters, all that shit. Kenny Beecham even on ESPN, all that shit. Love to see it. Like I grew up watching these people, and it's so cool to see him now. Adrian fucking doing big things. I gotta watch his course on Streamer University because I'll probably learn some shit on that. I don't know. I'm just trying to do some content shit. But my point is, nowadays, especially recently, we've had a lot of different teams with a lot of different players win championships. It's really hasn't been a back-to-back in a while. My other video, I kind of think that OKC is in a position to maybe be the next dynasty, and I feel like this rule of parity could be over. But at the same time, if it doesn't, and it's a huge possibility, the East is wide open this year. The West is all the West, you know, fucking I don't know. I think the Spurs can make a break, at least to the Western Conference, if Wemby's healthy. That motherfucker meditating, he out here doing his Shaolin monk shit. Like, you don't even know. I don't even know what that could bring, you know? I'm buying into that propaganda, I ain't gonna lie. And I hope it works out, because Wemby looks like a fucking the generational talent. Like, even if they couldn't give it to any other Euro, they gotta give it to him. He got it. That motherfucker, like 7'7", bro. That motherfucker is dunking without jumping. He's blocking everybody and his mama. Like, it's. Anyways, that's a tangent. So with all these different teams winning, the accolades for these players isn't gonna be as massive as it used to be. A lot of people say now that the baseline for the league is a lot higher for skill, so the peaks aren't as high, or like the peaks aren't high. Like, people try to exaggerate them, saying like, "Oh, people are so much better nowadays." No, because I really don't believe that. I feel like you adapt to your era of your game, and I feel like you you develop your game based on who you watch growing up. Like, I'm a big Steve Nash fan, white dude from Phoenix, long ass hair, duh. Like, it's kind of obvious, but like I always like passing. I play defense, so I'm not saying good at defense, but you know, so I just feel like it's gonna be harder and harder for these younger players to cement into, like, say the top 100 list in 25 years or whatever, for the next 10, whatever the shit's called. And it's gonna be hard for them to push a lot of old players out, and whether that be like old head bias, you know what I mean, like nostalgia or whatever. Because a lot of these players at the end of the day will have the stats. The pace is at a point in our league, and it has been going over that for a while, that they're gonna have the stats if they're an all-star tier player or better, especially a superstar. But when I don't think there's gonna be another GOAT if it's not Wemby. You know what I mean? Like, every generation has like a GOAT or a pseudo GOAT they can look up to and like, oh, like he got it, you know. And like a lot of people want to give it to Ant. Ant's fucking fire. He's a great ass player. He whooped my sons. Gotta be a fan after that, because he did it to him. Like, he gave him the work. But I don't trust Minnesota. I ain't gonna trust the front office. They're the same ones that drafted Maple Jordan. Can't recall his name, but you know what I mean. And he did well with Golden State years later, but he wasn't what they wanted him to be. Oh, Andrew Wiggins, there we go. Sorry. So I think nowadays dominance is gonna have a new feel. Dominance isn't gonna feel as dominant, and I feel like us as fans of sports and fans of NBA especially, we need to be more positive about it. We always want to immediately shit on these players, and with good reason. It can be funny sometimes, and like, especially as me as a fan of the Suns, they were shit this year, and I gotta poke fun at it just because like that's the only way I can cope. Because I think like when they're doing bad, and maybe it's because I'm doing bad as a person, I guess. But even though I'm doing pretty good, I'm like doing all right, you know. But just not doing enough. So maybe next year, maybe with this shit pops off, maybe it'll win. But yeah, basically, this whole Yap session was just to say, like, the way we see legacy will have to change in the NBA, or we're just gonna cannibalize ourselves, and the ratings and shit like that are gonna continue to go down. I believe it's a root of our own problem, because we are such hooper-minded that we get too involved in that space, and we get in our own bubble with that, and we have to see how other people see it. You know what I mean? We have to see how motherfuckers outside the game see it, because at the end of the day, we want to grow basketball. We want basketball to grow as a sport, as a medium, and it's doing great over social media and everything as short form. But like, the NFL has found a way to transfer into a more traditional, you know, and they're still doing great. And the NBA right now is stuck between 500 million different streaming services. just to watch your team, and then your team can't even be on that shit because the local TV program or whatever got it. So like it's harder to find. It's harder to legally stream like a NBA game than it is to illegally stream it in chat in GTA VR. But they need to solve that to mainstream that shit and make a pipeline and start building with these young players, because these young players are all they're gonna have in a few years. And like I know we're still riding KD and LeBron and Steph and all that till the sunset, but it's almost dusk. You feel me? And we really got to prop up these players now, or we're gonna have a worse product for it.